I'm just going to start recording and we're going to see.
This meeting is being recorded.
We got it. We got it. Yes. Happy Sunday.
Yep.
Happy what was it like in Arizona?
Today I had a dog client twice. I don't usually take clients on Sunday, but I knew we were meeting, so I figured I would. And it was we had our first day of heat today. So when we say things are being arising or arriving or rising, it is happening. So today we were like 90, first time in the season, and I was like, oh shit, here it comes. Like it's no joke.
Yeah, that's intense.
Where are you? Are you Oklahoma?
I'm in Georgia. I'm in Atlanta area, Georgia area. And it was beautiful today. It was gorgeous. It was like a perfect spring day. It's like just everything's green and gorgeous and the sky was blue and it was really lovely.
Sorry, it fucked up the time because I thought you were 2 hours, not 3.
No, you didn't fuck up the time. You aced the time because I honestly needed an extra hour. So
okay.
It was perfect. It was perfect. Yeah. Okay, I'll do an intro. Hello, Amy Michelle. I'm Megan, just for later people watching this recording, if that ever occurs or ever happens. I definitely want you to talk a little bit about yourself and just your mind and how your mind works. And I will say that one of the main reasons that Amy and I have gotten together today that I am consciously aware of is that we're both talkers and we both have this beautiful channel of 4323, right? I'm still very new to human design. So
bringing it.
But that was definitely the first thing that I remember when someone read my design, like probably 9 years ago. They were like, oh, you've got this channel, Freak to Genius. And I was like, why does that make so much sense? I don't even have to know what that's about. And I'm just like, I resonate with that completely. And I understand what's being said to me. So, but there's also something about a gate 51-5, which has something to do with agitation, initiation through agitation, and frustration, and sort of finding, for me, it's felt like, and agitation in general has felt like finding the through line where there is something that needs to be addressed or shifted, or sometimes it's nothing needs to be addressed or shifted. It's just the feeling and the focal point of irritation that needs to be shifted to something that is more pleasant or beautiful, which is what I've been working on today, is like not associating with the anger or the frustration, but kind of like shifting my perspective to something beautiful and just recognizing it as a passing sensation. That might not have any truth for me other than it's there in my body. And but in general, I feel like agitation, irritation is kind of like this initiation into understanding that no matter what, there is this space within us that is like resiliently calm, that has a presence of awareness, which can help us more clearly see in what ways we need to move forward. So that irritation and agitation, we never have to act out of a place of irritation or agitation. It's actually a call to find this space within us of deep inner peace and awareness so that we can address whatever's coming up from us from a place of wisdom. But that was a tangent. Anything you want to say about anything?
That's a 4323 riff, if I will, if there's ever one.
Right.
4323 is a doozy. It is a projected channel. So you are a projector. I am a generator. So when I found that out, I said, oh my God, my life, something about my life is making sense. projected channel means this channel in a generator must be invited, invoked from others. So I'll give you an example of when it is not invited and invoked, and because the channel is always on, it's always on, it's always on, it's always on. It's the channel of ideas, just all day, every day. I have an active brain, so that, you know, amplifies it. And if I deliver something that I know is truth and the timing isn't right, as in it has not been invited or invoked, it does not land well. And I spent my life knowing it all and then being, you know, sort of judged, criticized, shunned, rejected, you know, you're not supposed to know that, you know, every which way of that. And only a couple of years ago, before human design, did I have an oracle say to me, there's 3 devas that sit around your mouth. And I said, okay. And she said, they're, you know, they're timing, delivery, and truth. And I knew I always had truth. Even not knowing the projector channel, I knew there was always divine truth just coming out, rattling out. Why? Because when truth is delivered and the timing is wrong, you know it's right. The truth of it is right, because it resonates and they get triggered, so they get agitated. So this leads into my 51. Also, I have it in 3 different places. And so I knew the truth was always there. I have mastered the grace and kindness of delivery, because I, you know, thankfully, years of theta, honestly, I became a master's certificate in science and theta healing, and it changed my life. And everything comes from grace now. And I love every being that I'm interacting with, and most of them are my soulmates from other lifetimes. So all of that, check 1, check 2, 2 divas, got it. 3rd diva, I was like, ooh, timing, man, that's been a toughie for me, because I can't help it. It just comes. And well, she said, well, if all 3 are there, you won't even have a mental thought. It'll just pour out. Like all of a sudden the dam broke and the knowledge, the information just was delivered. And I said, okay, I'll go with it. I'll have the experience. And sure as shit, like not even a day later, a friend said, you know, let's meet for tea. And she starts to tell me a story. And this is the craziest example of this happening. She starts to tell me a story, and I don't know the contents of the story. I don't know who it is. I you know, nothing that she's verbally telling me. And all of a sudden the channel starts pouring information. And all of a sudden I know exactly who she's talking about, even though this is not a friend. This is not related to our community. This is nothing. It's just the psychic projector channel just turns on. And all of a sudden I hear, here comes the 3 divas. Truth has arrived. We already know that. Kindness and grace, the delivery is here. Watch for timing, watch for timing. And the story continues about how it was very uncomfortable in this interaction with this person. And, you know, what do you think? And as soon as I got that question, what do you think? I then clarified, are you asking me for what I think you would like me to share, what is coming through me? And she said, yes. And I said, oh, okay. All the divas are here. And sure enough, the person that she was referring to was somebody I had come into contact with oracally in a classroom setting. I knew exactly who this was. And I said, oof. I said, okay, can I ask, is this the person's name? And she looked at me and said, how do you know that? And, you know, there was the diva of timing. And the rest of it is kind of history. And the topic wasn't really super important. It was more that, oh my God, this is real. So the 4323, when I then fast forward to human design, when I got into human design, I guess it was maybe not even 6 months ago, we finished. I think we finished in November. So a couple months ago, yeah, maybe 6 months. When I found this out about this channel that we share, and there's one other friend in class that also has it and had the same experience growing up, got in trouble a lot, you know, was sort of rejected and abandoned because we know things we shouldn't know. And she's a generator too. So it really isn't about like the type itself. It's just this really beautiful channel. And I've come to love it because one is what's channeling through is not for me. It is for someone else, always. And I am literally in the culture sphere of service. So it gave this channel purpose for me. And I have this gift now, gifted, from the Oracle, this knowing and experience with the three divas. So now it's a wait, literally, now we go back to the generator, or even the, wait to be invited. We go back to the strategy and authority, which is wait to respond. If somebody asks me about this, what's coming through, well, P.S. I've had the Rolodex collecting information, and this funnel is like, oh, wait, this one's for this one. Okay. Psh. And so it's become a really fun game, to the point where I take 10 days off tech completely, or 30, or a day, and I sit, no computer, no phone, no input, and I just download the channel and I write notes. And funny enough, the first experience of this, I wrote like, oh, I have to tell Megan this. Oh, I have to tell so-and-so this. I have to tell so-and-so this. And then I practiced. So I got it all out. And then I practiced when I reunited with the tech world. I practiced not saying anything. And I practiced letting it be invited. And every single thing on that list almost didn't even have to be told or responded to, because telepathically it had already happened. So that's like the 4323 jacked up, like as long as I can get it out and I know it's not for me, which was a beautiful gift to know, then I just either store it and they'll come, or I write it and they've already received it. So 4323 it's power. It's like superpower. And then, yes, then you mentioned our 51. We are in the week of 51. Oh my God. I'll give you the greatest example just to tell you who I am. I was born in 1976, and my parents were 23, and they did not know they were going to have a child with a birth defect. They did not do an amniocentesis back then. My mom, both of them decided to do very, very naturally everything, and which is pretty progressive. And that's who I am as an adult, from teenager on, which clearly was a gift from them. However, so I was born with a unilateral cleft lip and palate, and that's huge shock to 23-year-olds. Shock, gate 51. I literally stepped into embodying 51, and my incarnation cross, my soul's purpose is to show up unexpectedly, and literally the cross of the unexpected, expect the unexpected. And welcome to childbirth. That's sort of like that anyway, but this just added the extra layer of 51 and 43, 23, like, and I'm Aquarius, and I was born late and at night. So hello, everyone. Yeah, that's Amy. That's Amy in 1976. And it became a very pivotal point for a wounded healer's journey, from that point on, and still not understanding. It's 2023, and still there is no connection to cleft palate, cleft lip anywhere. I've done extensive, research and gone down rabbit holes. Nothing, and nothing yet. But every time I get a little hit to follow it, I get a little something else. From the medical world to the metaphysical world, I've done it all. And I thought, oh my God, what a fun, like a real true fun journey. And when that hits me someday, that will literally be me in the auric field of me, the cross of the unexpected. When it hits me, it's going to be totally unexpected. I know it. And it's probably going to break down. This is forget it. I'm done. Eject. I'm out. So that's this little hummingbird in a nutshell.
There's so much. Wow. There's so much that you said in that. That is just like, so like you just answered, like, I don't even know, like 10 to 20 questions and irritations that I've had this week. So that feels like a gift.
An
51 is the
unexpected
gate of
one.
shock. An unexpected gift.
Happy Easter, happy Passover, happy
Thank you.
Sunday.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy Sunday. But yeah, so gate 51 is the gate of shock. Is that what you
It
said?
is the gate of shock, and depending on where it hits your human design, mine is, it's the gate of shock, and it's the drive of 51 is initiation. So it's initiation through shock. So it's like the shit show, but the shift show. You know, it's this is it, like shock, shift by shock. And you know, you will probably shit your pants at some point during this process. So yeah, it is. It's a doozy. And today, yes, we chose this day as it started to unfold in that 4323 of mine. Like, oh my God, 5 for me, and I'm sure everyone, you know, has different versions of this, but 5 for me is like the prophet, you know, the prophecy. It gets projected onto a lot. You know, line 5s get projected shit. They pick it up. And if you're already an empathetic, you know, wounded healer, I mean, you're just picking shit up, codependency. Okay, I'll fix it for you. I'll fix it for you. And then, you know, someday you realize, wait a second, this isn't even mine. This is not mine. This is not mine. That's not mine. Oh, wait, that's not mine from 1976. Oh,
Yeah.
that shame, you know, that's not mine. Anyway, so line 5 is this powerhouse of intense, for me, intense presence. It's you and me. It's right here, right now. It's this like dare to sit in this initiation of, you know, agitation. Like we are in the washing machine together, and it's doing a little, you know, and maybe our nervous systems are doing this, but you know, and that happens from time to time. And right now I'm like, get it. Like, I'm just going to spin with you, because this is like feeling good. You know, who needs any
Love
medicine?
it.
When
Yeah,
you can just get in the machine.
I fucking
So
love it.
yeah, that's agitation, irritation. And yes, and today's Sunday, we're both Aquarians. So today we light up, you know, we were born to fly. I mean, we're airy. This is all mind. And the prophecy, you know, the 4323 comes from source down in to the mind through and then out through the throat. I mean, it's literally, for me, brilliance today. And in the week of, okay, whoever hears this, who cares? I mean, you and I and the auric fields, there's only one, you know, one collective, and it's rippling. There's a ripple happening already just because we decided to do this. And beautiful mirrors, both having 51 line 5s. I can't remember where mine is. I think yours is in the moon, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I never remember. And mine is also my Chiron wound. I mean, abandonment. Like, yes, okay, I was abandoned, you know, in many ways because of this. And I say, okay, but for me, it was growing my wings and my cape my whole life. Like, you're an Aquarius, you are not meant to be, you know, stationary, meant to be flying around and dropping in some magic and sprinkles. It's just, so I have adopted the name, and maybe you have in your own way, Mary Poppins. You know, wherever you go, you just sprinkle a little, and then when it's done, you get up and leave. And this Mary Poppins has spent a long time like being anchored and like, wait, no, my umbrella's trying to lift off, you know, the kite scene, you know, but yeah. I wasn't able to because of that wound, you know, from birth. So yeah, it's intense and so fun.
Yeah, this is crazy because, okay, I just want to tell you what I've been healing this week because it's like so insane.
Okay.
The main things that I've been healing are this idea that like nothing is wrong with me, and I'm reestablishing my right and my connection and the wisdom of my wildness, and like really understanding like this week what that is, because my whole life I've loved that feeling of just like completely merging with like the bliss of ecstasy and not needing to know where it goes. And there's like this innate trust in the heart of it. Like, I don't have to know where it's taking me. I don't have to know what it wants from me. There's this innate trust in my belly and my body that it's guiding me to benevolence for myself and for all beings. And it feels so good. Like, I'm just going to ride the wave. And like, I've always felt this connection to like more about where I'm coming from, like the space that it's coming from, like what's my intention, like how does this feel in my body, what feeling am I trying to create in this room, how do I want this other person to feel as we're doing this or as we're creating this, like am um I affirming their sovereignty in this interaction, am I affirming my own sovereignty, like more about like the trust in the integrity of the unknown and just like this like kind of heart-centered wildness and just like trusting wherever it is, like as long as I'm connected to my heart, to this like feeling of ecstasy, like I'm gonna let it rip. And there's been so much shame my whole life around like I'm not being responsible enough, or I'm being lazy because I literally have this sense of like timing in my body and I don't feel like I have to be doing all the time, which to me, that innate intuitive timing is also, I'm considering that my wildness. It's like my innate knowing is my wildness. My doing something for the sheer joy of it is my wildness. I don't have to know why I fucking know this. I just know it is my wildness. It's like all of these untamed aspects of my knowing self, like that is my wildness. And I was told like my whole life, like, you can't do it that way. Don't do it that way. Like, you're not showing up for us how we need you to show up for us. You're not being responsible because, you know, we deem responsibility as you being serious, as you being studious in this way, as you know, showing up consistently at this specific time in this way. Like, and there is some truth to like timing that, you know, I've had to like adopt as an adult, but there's this other timing that's happening in my body that's just so organic. And like when I listen to that, like not the time on the clock or on the wall, but like in the timing in my body, it's like almost like the universe or either is orienting me to its timing or it's oriented itself to the timing in my body. Like people, like situations, like even if I'm 5 minutes late, they'll also be 5 minutes late. Or, you know, I miss traffic and I take this turn and I get there at the same time anyway. Or, you know, it's like timing is weird. Timing is screwy. And like the more that I've been in this space of just trusting my own body's wisdom of timing and like almost going slow, more slowly, because that's the rhythm that is happening within my own body, and just trusting that pace, I'm on time just naturally. And there's just this wisdom in my wildness that was never taught to me, and was taught to me to do the opposite of listen to that. And I've just had so much shame around it. I'm like, doing things by the rules has never been an organic process for me. It's like literally like I can try to do it and it just feels so awful, and the results are trash because that's not how I'm meant to be doing things. And I've had this deep fear of like, I don't know how I'm going to make it in this world, because if that's how I need to succeed, if that's how I need to exist, I physically feel like I cannot find success in that way. I know I can't. And this other way, I might be able to find success, but I don't have many role models or a system. Like, I'm just fucking winging it from my internal knowing, and we'll see what happens. And, you know, our structure, our societal mental structures just aren't set up right now to support that. And so it kind of feels like doing things on my own, and doing things that might be a little messy, which is also not societally acceptable. It's like, don't be messy, don't make mistakes. It's like, shit, I have to make mistakes. We all have to make mistakes, but I have to make mistakes. And so healing my wildness, and then also healing this week this innate anger that I had towards having vision, having such clear vision as a kid. I was like, this is what I want to create in this world, and I know how to do it, and I feel intuitively in my body how to create the healing that I am wanting to generate on this planet. Generally about treating people with dignity and respect, and how we can do that with how we speak to one another, how we see one another, like kind of mental constructs, and how they can either, in our words, and how they can either affirm dignity and respect, or they can kind of deteriorate a person's sense of self. Just how we look at them and interact with them. And I've had this innate sense of knowing and direction of like, I am going to pump this world full of unconditional love. And I know what that looks like. And I know what that looks like in practical terms. And like, I am just going to like fucking infuse every relationship that I touch with this alternative. And I did that for the first 25 years of my life. And I felt like I didn't have any support. I felt like people misunderstood me. I felt like I didn't have any universal support. I wanted like the universe to be like, yes, Megan, this is like awesome ideas about how to, speak to one another and, generate friendship and in the workplace, and like just different ways of how to establish dignity in our day-to-day interactions. And I wanted the universe to be like, yes, this is awesome, this is rad, like here are the people, here are the places, like let's set you up so that this message or these ideas can be integrated in community. And it just didn't happen. And I was really pissed off this week because I watched that video, and these women are talking about exactly what I've been seeing my whole life. And I was just like, what? Okay, so they get to have success in that? And like, what? Like, people actually want to hear these thoughts? People actually capable of understanding them and are ready for them? And like, where am I in that? Like, where is the support for me in that? Like, does it still exist? I don't know, but there's just this like frustration because it feels like at the worst timing, because I'm like, I haven't felt more further from that original vision and that original knowing of like, this is how we treat one another. And so I'm like, what? Universe, I really don't get the timing, but I'm at a place where I'm just going to trust. But it's been a frustrating week.
Okay. Oh, are you ready?
Yeah.
There's so much medicine here, that, okay, so what I've been listening for lately is this, I don't know, the details of the nuance of my gift. One of my gifts, like my main gift is translation. I am obsessed with language, the vibration of language, word choices. We've talked about that, right? Wordsmithing, word dervishing, not to manipulate for distortion, but to manipulate, be at the hands of change. Mani, manipulate, be the one that can create exactly what you're, there's the same reverberation of what you're doing in your way of, wait, what? They're not understanding something. Okay, I have to translate it. I speak languages from other dimensions. I speak intergalactic. I speak interdimension. I am the bridge between animals and their humans. I speak just, I don't know, sound. And I find this gift with words too. And believe it or not, of course, the birth effect was here, right? So there's a magic to why and where it was created and placed. And, if I held on to that shame for the rest of my life, none of these gifts would be turned on. And I sang when I was a child also. I sang all through college. Anyway, but what I truly enjoy, I mean, my greatest passion is someone tells me something, all the things, beautiful things you just shared. And I'm like, oh, I hear it. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, ready? Like I hear puzzle pieces starting to talk and then pull them together and line them up. So you have a full house vertical flow to shift. And this is what I was getting from Carolyn, actually. Like, I feel like we are the next generations of this prophet, you know, this beautiful, raw, unsympathetic genius on this planet, who is talking about heart, mind congruency, but heart, mind, and child. So heart, child, mind. So having these three line up, and when they line up, there's a hollow bamboo, there's a vertical channel, there's a building that lines up, or the domino. And all of a sudden, this is what I do. I see these three pieces and I see all, oh wait, collect this, a curator of sorts. And all of a sudden it lines up and goes. So number one, you're a line 3 projector, right? There is a line 3 in there, right? Okay. So 1 is investigative, you know, you must investigate to your heart's desire, to your mind's desire in any direction, even if they're not congruent, you got to go for it. 3s, and I am a 6, but I am not in my 6 yet. 3s will spend their life experimenting, experiencing. And as I think Matt Kahn long ago said, we are here to experience experiences. I mean, that's why we're here. It's why we incarnated. And the 3s were the epitome of it. So what we deem as success and fails, I mean, let everybody judge. Who gives a flying, you know? This is what we must do. I have to try this. I have to try this. I'm going to try the wig today. I'm going to try the glasses tomorrow. I'm going to try naked tomorrow. I'm going to do, you know, oh, I'm going to move here for 3 months. Oh, then my dog transitioned. And why the fuck am I here? I don't want to stay here. And so I'm going to get out of my year lease, and the environment's going to help me. And so that was a crazy ass experience, you know, experiment and experience. And through that, you know, I went through a death and I became an end of life doula. So line 3s, like, you know, no more feeling bad, no more feeling guilty, no more feeling shame. You are here to experience, own it. Like, and all of us are, except line 3s are here to show people that it's okay and not give a crap what anyone else thinks. And as long as you feel really good about every experience you're having. And even if they feel like crap, they usually something has caught our attention. It has lit us up in one of the senses. And so we dove in, you know, so that's your line 3. That's one puzzle piece. The other puzzle piece is the wild and untamed. Wow, there something really, really juicy dropped in. Okay, so you had this vision, this birth vision, you came in. This is Celestine prophecy and 10th insight all day. This was channeled in the 80s, 87, early 90s. Okay, so similar to what you're saying, I have this experience where I know these things in me. I just know them. I didn't even attempt to prove them. I just know. I can't. Can't be any other way. And no, Amy, why can't you be normal? No, Amy, why can't you just like live like normal? Like, why can't you just let that go? Why can't you do the, you know, everyone else is living a normal life, Amy. Why can't you? I'm trying to do what you want me to do. I just can't. It doesn't feel good. There's not a congruency. Even though I had none of these words, it feels icky. I don't know how you do it, but I can't do it. Well, so what if, so we come in with a soul group around us of 7. That's the prophecy. There's 7 and we are 8. So the power of 8. 7 come, they see us incarnate, and then they are here to show up, to infuse, to be present, to ensure we sort of stay on the path. So we get simultaneous things, we get synchronistic things, we get serendipitous things, right? These are little snippets of lining up. But you're birthed with your wild, crazy ass idea, right? That's your birth vision. So there's this piece I hear, which is like, I knew this. And then what happened? Well, then you had an experience of trying to fit in. That's your line 3. So like, this is true when you were born. This is true up until 20s. That's true. And also true, incarnated human experience, have to experience this, because what I'm experiencing in not being accepted or being shamed or abandoned or rejected or trying to fit in and then feeling guilty, all of this is exactly the language of the people who you're going to help quantum leap, help feel these relationships in order to understand what these humans are going through in pairs. You have to be able to alchemize their language. And you couldn't do that if you weren't experiencing these crazy things, because in relationships, that's all we do is project onto each other the shit that we experienced as children and not know it, not know that we're in mirrors, not know that we are literally relate. The word relate means come back to self. Relationships, the entire purpose of being on this planet is to remember who we are, divinity, and like really like pull apart the Jenga puzzle. Like, what does it look like when there's nothing? Oh, divine, the 0 point, all one, right? Collective. So your human mind is saying, but I had this, and then I had this, and then I show up, and they all of a sudden they get to do this. But the funny part about it from the outside is like, oh my God, that's exactly how the movie is supposed to play out. And in age, which again, timeless doesn't matter, but in the perception of it, they've arrived later than you. You're arriving earlier than them. You got it in your 20s. They got it in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. So every time someone says this to me, I go, oh, like when I see kids that get, like my nephew, who's 11 now, about maybe a year or two ago, I showed him this electricity conductor where I put one hand, he put his hand on the other, and it lights up. We are electric beings. And he was like, I know that. And I go, what? No, you don't. Yeah, we learned that in class. And I go, wait, what? How did you learn that? What do you mean? What do you mean? We learned about static electricity. So he learned it from a different perspective, but he already understood the concept, even though his human mind has been conditioned not to remember that already at 11. The channel opened and he was like, I know that. And I said, holy crap, Amy, you're looking at you. You knew that, but you were conditioned to be this box, you know, for a long time. But it's for that reason, to understand how to deconstruct the language we've learned, to open up the channels and help people when they're in that state of agitation and say, hold on a second. Oh my God, I remember what that agitation feels like. And here are like the 500 different things that are options of puzzle pieces to fit in your puzzle. There's a million. There's an infinite number. So it's fascinating. So you have like these 3 parts, this birth vision that showed up, and in this wild, untamed wolf of you, right? The initiation was birth. And you came in and you knew, you embodied, you knew. And children do until around 7 or 8. We embody the wild, untamed. We're flailing our arms, we're screaming, we're free. We don't have to behave because we haven't been taught to behave yet, you know? And then, okay, we fit in, we learn to fit in the constructs and all of this. And we begin to get very frustrated, agitated inside. This isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. This isn't right what they're teaching me. But all of us have been taught that. So we find compassion and empathy for those who taught us, because they didn't have the courage. They had to shove it. And can you only imagine, all the diseases the elders have, or they just fucking shut off their brain, Alzheimer's, dementia. Yeah, because I can't shut it off anymore. And so I'm just going to sort of like, just jump out of my body, but my body's still here. Consciousness is like, I can't do this anymore. It's really wild. It's a wild fucking ride. That's my take on it, honestly. Like, I'm done pushing it down, and it's just here now. So I'm just, there's all kinds of things, all kinds of symptoms and conditions that are created. But anyway, so now you have this community, the game changers that are out, and you're like, that's me. And what I say to that is, exactly, you are right on time. They are meeting you to bring you and say, remember that birth vision? It's time now. Like Dolores Cannon channeled 17 of her books and could not put them out for about 40 years. Consciousness said, no, not ready. So imagine if just a shift, this is the translation in me. The shift is, you were asked to wait. Your projector in you said, wait to be invited, by the community, by the earth, They're not ready yet. They're not ready yet. And so, you went off as a whatever teenager, 20s kid, experience a lot of shit, have fun, because when the time is right, you'll know. And you forgot that was part of it. And so the agitation is like almost like a mental construct of, I didn't do good enough. I veered off the course. Oh my God, I'm late to the game. I'm late to the party. No. The guest of honor has arrived and she's here to inform and initiate. That's your projector. And the feeling part of you is like, oh man, yeah. Like I feel like not this. I feel in my body, ooh, we are right on time. And all these game changers are awake now and they're ready for me. The expanded consciousness, and now we dance together, and now you're not alone anymore. Your community is surrounding you. That's how you can see them now. Like, that's pretty fucking phenomenal. So no more wild and untamed alone. But that experience of learning on your own in the wild of life, in New York, we say the concrete jungle, you literally learned with nature what it's going to be like when we return there. And that is where we are going in 10 years or less, anima, to the soul of nature, where we thrive in harmony with nature and animals. So you've got it. Now it's like, okay, how do I synthesize all of these experiences and the more that are coming to line up all of the vessels as they show up? How do I communicate to them about the animals or the nature, or this is the way plants, or did you know that the plants feel too? Oh yeah, there's this consciousness, yeah. And look at the explosion of plant medicine everywhere. Why? Because people are learning their language, how to get in touch with nature. I do it with canines and wolves. I mean, I get it. People aren't awake to death isn't real. Redefine, redesign. I mean, transfiguration. That's my jam with end of life. And it's a slow process, much like, where you have this birth vision. I didn't even know this was my vision. I didn't know, but I'm watching. I realize, we're change agents. We are game changers. We are pivoters. We are authors of the new, whatever, the walking, talking, living book of life. This is like, we are right on time. Right on time.
Thank you. Yes. I think as you're saying this, there's this like secondary irritation and realization that I'm having is like, I've been trying to put on this like spiritual skin for the last 10 years. Like that's what I've been very serious about, my spiritual practice, and like trying to like force an outcome of like, I'm going to be a healer. I'm going to be a this, I'm going to be a teacher. And this is what the spiritual path looks like. And as we're having this conversation, I'm like, it's just me. It's just all of me. It doesn't look like anything other than me being myself. I never had to practice a certain modality. I never had to wear something. I never had to go to an ashram unless I want to. I can do all of these things as expressions of myself because I fucking want to, but it didn't ever have to look like anything other than me being myself. Like I am enough as I am. My eccentricities, my quirks, all of the things that I love, the multifaceted layers of myself, all of it is me being in my spiritual. Like I didn't need somebody to teach me how to be a spiritual being. I am a being and I am of spirit. Everything that comes out of me, all of my joy is a part of the process, is a part of me embodying why I'm here. I never had to stop listening to Kendrick Lamar. I never had to stop twerking in the woods. I never had,
No, honey, I do it all. Oh God.
never had to like wear like colors and meditate for 6 hours. And I mean, I do meditate for 6 hours when I want to, but like and like there was this huge frustration at like my Saturn return, which is like just now ending, which is like Saturn is like this like serious teacher, or like seen as being this like serious teacher of like get your shit together, right? And the lesson that was like mind-boggling me at the time, but like now I think I'm starting to understand, was like, stop trying, Megan. Stop being so serious. You're not here to be serious.
What
And
are
I was
Saturdays for, Megan? Saturday is Saturn
Play.
Day. Right. Like, hello. Like it's
Yeah.
gotten lost on all of us. Saturdays, no one does shit. They want to have a good time. Saturday's like date night and play day. What? How did we get distorted that Saturn is this like strict teacher? No. Saturn Day is like the day where everybody's like, oh, I'm going to this party. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a little translation got lost, but from the galaxies to Earth. But no, you got it. You're right on. Saturday is for play.
It's for play. And like he kept telling me. And every time I would, because I feel like I'm a direct channel. I get things pretty clearly. And every time I would like sit in meditation, I'd be like, okay, God, okay, universe, like, what is my divine purpose? Like, why am I here? And they're like, have a good time. And I was like, okay, but like, seriously, why am I on this planet right now? And they're like, party, have a good time. And I'm like, okay, but like, I've been around the block. I know things, like I'm not saying I'm like a soulful heavyweight, but I feel like I know some shit, and like you could do, like, I'll do anything. I will be the vessel of service. Like, what does that look like, great God? And they're like, literally have a good time. That is the best thing you can do for this planet right now, is like cultivate your version of fun and joy and play. You are here to have a good time. And I've just been like sitting with that for the past 4 years, almost like they don't really mean that. There's some there's like another message in there, and I just like haven't gotten it yet, but it is. And sometimes when I have like moments of clarity or spiritual sobriety, I'll be like, oh yeah, like, I mean, I always love to like, what is fun for me? Like, what is fun for me? I'm like, well, fun is literally fun. But what are the benefits of fun? Like, oh, right, like it downregulates your nervous system and your creative juices come online, and people are a lot more willing to interact with one another. And like, there's so many like benefits of like practical benefits of fun and of play and of living from that state and cultivating that state. I'm like, yeah, that does make sense. That does make sense.
But it's radical. It's quite radical, even though it's very, easy and makes sense. It's radical. Our news is not fun, right? What's projected out there is not fun. It's not, oh my God, so-and-so celebrated their 120 today, and there were 7 of them all over the planet. It's not that. And during the shutdown of the planet for, 2 years, this was the topic. I have a book called Play. It's this topic. And I had this exact conversation with a very, a dear friend, colleague, who the two of us, quite serious. Everything's serious. Even when we're working in our galactic lab, it's very serious. And it was like, something's missing. Like what? And so we'd ask these same questions, like, well, what is fun? What is play for us? Well, it's this, it's all the galactic work. And there's still something there missing. Like if the entire body isn't involved in something, I think something's missing. Like, think about sexual interactions, right? The entire body, the mind, everything's online, all of it. in the optimal
Right.
divine way, I think.
Yeah.
It's all online. And then with animals, wild and untamed, all online, like a leaping, like today I'm walking the dog I spoke about this morning, a walk earlier. I was walking Finnegan, and today is the first hot day where lizards are coming out. And he was like, lizard, 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 lizard. And we were like, oh, 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 there it is, there it is, there it is. It's what's catching his eye and his interest, and the entire body and being is moving for a lizard. Like, yeah, nothing else matters in that moment. So it's in the present moment. If I'm working or I'm playing, this is, last night I mentioned 6 hours of this ceremony that came out of nowhere. I was working, but it wasn't work, it was play. And my friend who I was doing it with said, you must be exhausted. And I said, actually, I'm not. Time stood still. I'm having the greatest time of my life. I will sleep later for certain. This generator battery will conk out. However, the play is the play and fun aspect of life. I mean, this is what, an end of life, when you're speaking with humans, end of life, one of the biggest regrets is they didn't spend more time playing, enjoying, spending more time with people, enjoying something. We spent my life working for this. And it's just, no. And so to have this awareness, to remember we came to play. This is Disneyland. Earth is Disneyland. And when you go to Disneyland, this is why I believe that his vision came and is still here decades later. You go to Disneyland, it doesn't matter how old you are, you get on a Small World and you're like, oh my God, do you remember that? Oh my God, do you remember that? Oh, it's like the one place I'll go with any kid of any age, however old I am. I didn't choose to have children, but the one thing I was thinking, and this will show you how I deconstruct myself. I didn't want to have kids because I didn't want to be dragged to all the places that I've already been to. Like, oh my God, that's pretty fucking sad. Like, this is serious. Like, raising kids is serious. I didn't want that. I couldn't do that lesson. Like, no thanks. Dogs, my 4 dogs, that's a lot. And I have to be more wild and untamed and primal. Like, I chose a different route than my parents did. And so, I grew up very strict. But the one thing I remember, my mom worked for Disney for 35 years. We spent almost every weekend at Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm, or Magic Mountain in California. Literally almost every weekend. Fast rides. I mean, talk about like the ride of your life, like all versions of it, the unexpected, the Small World, which is just like meandering along, but yet there's all these visuals, like take it in, colors, different countries, continents, what's happening? Oh my God, amazing. Wait, I was just on a boat. We were moving like not even 5 miles an hour. Our brain didn't go, that's boring. To, the fast, dark, galactic ride, Space Mountain. So wild and untamed, Disneyland. I mean, this is that, and brings me to my, sovereign divine knees when I am there. I dress up like Minnie Mouse when they asked me to go to Disneyland at 46 a year ago, when my sister went for her 45th birthday. We went for her 45th birthday to Disneyland with her kids, and the 2 adults were the kids at the park. And again, they laugh at Amy, Amy, oh my God, she's dressed up. But, I have to say to myself, like, how do I want to embody this? Much like you're saying, like, I want to have fun. I'm tired of trapping her. It's like a wild beast. So you were speaking about anger and agitation earlier too. That's a part of the wild that has been trapped and tried to be tamed. And you just can't. I mean, wolves and dogs, you just can't. I believe that autistic children have come to teach us, the spectrum children have come to teach us this: let your wild out. You cannot control me. And it doesn't have to look the way that it does, but it looks that way because you're still trying to control me, instead of like, I don't want to be touched. Leave me alone. I just want to enjoy this sense right here. And then when I'm ready, I'll invite you in. brilliant beings, courageous to incarnate in ways to literally wake the, fun up, wake the F up in you. It's, I don't think I
Okay.
was diagnosed, but I'm probably on the spectrum.
See, okay, so that was the other thing that I was processing this week. So maybe we can get back to that because I have two questions. One is around the spectrum, and I had just like deep fear that I didn't realize I had about being on the spectrum. And I think that the core fear within that was that because I'm on the spectrum, or if I am on the spectrum, or if I am autistic, does that mean that all of the insights and the ways that I see the world are inaccurate or ineffectual because there's some it's a neural disability, and it's not a neural divergence, it's a neural inadequacy, basically. And so I've had to sit with that this week, around just like that fear of like, oh my God, I'm so different, I'm so sensitive. And like that was like my biggest shame growing up, is like I know that there's something different about me, and I can't let anyone know how different I am on the inside, because they'll commit me, they'll
Oof,
put me on drugs,
speaking my fear. Yep.
they'll, like I can't let people know. And like I love experiencing life this way, and it feels in many ways like a like a treasure. Like I wouldn't want to experience life any other way, but I'm so deathly afraid that, one, because I am the way that I am, maybe I'm not seeing the world clearly, and I prefer my world over theirs. And if their world is true and my world is false, like that would be heartbreaking. That would be just devastating. Because that would mean to me that we literally live in insanity, because their world feels like constricted insanity, and my world feels like freedom and preciousness and sacredness and play, and just feels like life, and their world feels like anti-life. So
Hell.
um, that is something that freaked me out for most of my life. And I think that this week I'm finally like, I mean, just autism kept coming up and up and up and up and up, and all the different ways of looking at autism, and autism through the spiritual lens, and my own experiences of like the higher that I get into frequency, that the more challenging it is to give a fuck about being socially appropriate. And like sometimes I really do just like want to stare at the trees for like an hour.
Oh my
And
God, get it. Yeah.
sometimes, like I don't care about what you're saying. I'm sorry. Like I want you to feel loved, but you're not saying anything I care about. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to listen to you right now. Have you seen the trees? They're pretty spectacular. Um, you know, and
That's when you grab whoever's talking and you say, yes, keep talking. You grab them and you grab them with their hand and you hug a tree and you ask them to hug a tree. You stop the mental rant and chatter by inviting them into your world, being courageous. Like what's the worst that happens? They stop talking. Well, you wanted them to stop talking. What's the worst that happens? They reject you. Well, you've already experienced that. Or is the fear that you are going to rise in that moment and you're going to dismantle them and you're going to see it, because that is what's happening. That's what's coming. You're going to grab me, the mental crazy mind going, blah, 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 blah. Amy, okay, yeah, keep talking. I just need to come over here. Why don't you come with me? I'm inviting you with me. Just come with me. And then all of a sudden the mind stops, because it's like you've just connected to nature. And so you may have someone who doesn't get it at all and keeps talking. Doesn't matter, because now you're getting what you want and they're getting what they want. So that's like the worst that happens is nothing happens. The best that happens is that moment where, oh my God, you dismantle me. And I know I was, and there are parts of me that is, it's that. If you grabbed my hand and said, come with me, keep talking, come with me. and you just start hugging a tree, that vibration without any words will transmute itself. And all of a sudden, I won't remember what I was talking about, right? That's the subtle layer. The next layer would be, wait, something's happening. And then I'll probably voice it. Something's happening. I don't know what's happening. Wait, what? And I've even forgotten that you've brought us to the tree, but something's happening. Yeah, nature's talking. You have reunited me with where we're from. And then all of a sudden, the next layer is I'm sobbing. And then you say, yes, you've arrived. And you say, okay, are you ready to hug the tree? This is what projectors are gifted at. And you are connected in this way. Your unique way of being a projector is nature. And we don't necessarily need the words. Nature will speak. You're their conduit. Bring them to where you want to be. And worst that happens is you abandon them in their conversation and they don't want to follow you. Conversation's over. Great. It was the goal anyway. You know what I mean? It's like, wait for nature, the tree, to invite you over. Oh, the tree's talking to me. I gotta go. Like, come with me if you want, but I really, this conversation is getting really loud. I have to go see what the tree wants to say. You're already weird, right? You're already untaming. You're untaming yourself. So
dog is so cute.
Yeah, this is Benjamin.
Hi,
He's
Benjamin.
the most wild and untamed. He's like sometimes he's not even in his body, but he wanted to be part of this conversation. So
I'm honored, Benjamin. Thank you. He's so cute. He's so cute. And then the other thing I wanted to ask you is, okay, so you said that you've, like, this last ceremony that you did that was 6 hours, it felt like play. And then you also mentioned earlier that you and your colleague were talking about what play is what you guys find playful is what you were doing, but there was something about the way that you were doing it that didn't feel playful.
Yes.
What was that you shifted? How have you found and reestablished play?
Oh, good one. You know what? In that specific scenario, I was allowing conditions from long ago. I can say, the first story would be, she was too serious and she wouldn't let me play, but I can't even, that's a lie. I can't even say that anymore. That was the first layer. Second layer was, she's mirroring me. So, okay. The next layer in was, okay, when was the last time you played, Amy? And what does that even look like? Do you even know how to play? Like, what is it for you? Is it a puzzle? Is it dancing? Is it, how come you're not doing any of that? Why aren't you doing that while you're doing what you love to do? And so it was kind of deconstructing mentally and pulling out of it and looking at it kind of a spherical vision. What is this looking like? Like, it's serious and your body's tense when you're doing this. And yeah, you're getting results, like, in quotes, like the channel's open, because it will be for you. And this isn't the optimal, this isn't the way. This isn't going to be, this isn't going to withstand the test of time. You'll burn out. And I have, in little pockets, I've burnt out several times in different modalities as I started to synthesize things, because it was like, you're telling me how to do it this way. I have to do it this way. So now I'm in the healing, the healing arts world, curating modalities left and right, like candy, like a candy store. Can't help it. Dive in. Oh, I love it, love it, love it. Well, then all of a sudden it was like, oh, you don't want me to be a teacher, but I have to do this. Like, no, I don't want to teach. And no, I'm not going to do that. And so I'm going to do this. Well, oh, you want me to do this, but I can't do this. Okay, not going to do that. So it became, again, the conditioning from my own, signed up for co-creation on the planet. For me, the conditioning was so strong to be able to recognize the vast spectrum ends, or the ends of the candle, either way, the candlestick, like what's either end look like, the end of the pendulum, like this is so conditioned, and this is maybe ecstasy, but in a high kind of cracked out ecstasy, like that's not good either. How do I balance the scale? And yesterday, I think, was the first time that I remember, like really like feeling, was the night before someone needed help selling her house, and I kept hearing it. And I stepped into this moment where, again, like, talk about making an ass of yourself. I assumed she knew, or I judged that she should know that I do this. I mean, she's known me for a long time. Like, how did you not know this? Anyway, so I voiced it, which I really rarely do. I usually suck it in and say, oh, like, this is bullshit. Like, how come she's hiring someone else? And I never say it out loud, but I decided to voice it. Like, hey, I'm so confused. Why are you asking somebody else? I do this and I can help you. And all the stories that we create, like, she doesn't want to do it because we're too close and she doesn't believe in me at all this stuff. Anyway, she said, honestly, I didn't know that you did this. And now that I do, what do you charge? Well, lo and behold, it was pretty darn close to what she was going to pay. And she said, I'll pay yours. Yours is slightly more, but I'll pay. Oh, fine, let's do it. The other woman never got back to me anyway. Divine, right? So lo and behold, I said, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. I had no idea what I was walking into. My mind thought, so talk about the old constructs, right? My mind thought it knew what it was going to do. Wasn't the channel, was the mind saying, da, 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 da. And the heart just knew, we're doing this. Whatever it is, we're doing it. It's on. And the child spent the evening, going to bed and starting to just go, okay, how do I marry these two? Like, how do I bring them back? So if you back to your plan, your wish, your dream, or your vision of being the child, the throat, putting together the mind and heart in couples, you can look at them as avatars. One's probably more heart-based showing, one's more mind-based showing, and they're both equal, right? Mind, heart, masculine, feminine. I mean, all these fun little imageries and nuances, but yeah, my mind thought one thing, my heart said one thing, felt something, and then the child was like, okay, how do I synthesize this? And I went to bed. And the next day, around maybe 2:00, and there was no set time. So trust me when I know, when you speak about rhythm and flow and flowing with your own divine timing, and Aquarians, we literally dance to the beat of our own drum. Like, that's just who we are. I've known that since I was a child, and late? No, I'm divinely on time.
Yeah.
And sorry, you're thinking I'm late. That's, you're judging it. Maybe you don't know how to be by yourself waiting here. Like, you're not waiting for me, you're sitting with yourself. Like, maybe that's a problem for you. Like, I'm giving you extra time so you can learn to be okay with yourself. Like that, no one's looking at it that way. We're getting projected onto and blamed for being late, but no one's looking at why I was late. Well, Divine said be late because she needs to spend some time with herself. It's hilarious.
That's so funny.
So
That is
good,
exactly what I
right?
do. I love waiting because I'm like, oh, here's just like a piece of time. I don't have to be anywhere. Like, I'm already where I need to be, and I'm just gonna enjoy this time that I have with myself.
Exactly.
That's hilarious.
But we experience those things so we can help, help others. And this is, I love to do, just to flip it and say, look, maybe, exactly that. Maybe you meant you were supposed to be by yourself and you don't like the agitation of that. And so, sorry, not sorry, Demi Lovato, like, but that was it. All of a sudden things just started dropping in, and conversations from others that were not related, but this is how source uses, people that are connected to me. The community starts coming in and just dropping in like bombs, like, and all of a sudden I hear, like, the child starts to synthesize, the throat starts to go, oh my God, I need that puzzle piece. I need that puzzle piece. And so the child, I mean, think about it. The child, it's child's play. That's a phrase we have. The child is the one who I let run the show yesterday, using her resources of the mind, that beautiful, brilliant mind, and the expanded heart from eons, ages, dimensions, galaxies, that's transcended time. And we put them together. She put them together. I asked all parts of me to play. And she used the what do you call it? The maestro, the mistress of ceremony. And oh my God, it was like, oh, I need this oracle deck. Oh, I need these crystals. Oh, I just bought this thing and I bought 2 of them. Oh my God. Now I know why I bought the second one. Oh, and they're garden scenes. Oh my God. And they're of Mexican descent. And oh, the husband is of Mexican descent. Oh my God, his ancestors are here. And it just started popping in. Oh, and oh wait, I need to eat a little something. I'm gonna warm up some beans. Why are my beans on fire? Wait, what? That didn't happen yesterday. Megan, something's funny. It's happening, but I had to say it because it's funny. Oh, and she says, and her name is Megan. She says, oh, that's Maria. She's there. And I go, well, good, because now I'm farting and I had 1 spoonful, like, and I know that this is them playing with me because I'm letting the child be seen. And so it just was this. It was a 6-hour like playground. Oh yeah, this, and and then all of it started to synthesize and messages, in that play, because the adult outside would say, Amy, you're not doing the work. Like, you're not delivering the work. Something, no, this is, you're having too much fun. Like, this can't be, But what would drop in are things that I would feel viscerally as I was audioing them to her. And I started to shed, the water body. Okay, wow, we've arrived. Oh my God, again. Oh my God, again. Oh my God, again. And, at the end of the ceremony, when they were done, when we all knew we were done for that space, it was like, I had the greatest day at the beach. I had the greatest day at Disneyland. I'm ready for bed. I can't keep my eyes open, just like a kid, like where you conk out and the kid fell asleep in the backseat of the car and had, a beautiful night's sleep. And then woke up today and this came online first, not the child. And this was like, did we really do what we were supposed to do? I mean, she paid us that amount. And, did you think anything, okay, like, what if the intention wasn't met? Do I need to do anything more? And as it turns out, the wise heart said, remember, you're off on Sundays. And so today we're just going to have to like sit with whatever worry and agitation you have. And let me tell you that there was a sign when I was out driving, because this is how my ancestors and angels work. And some of it I don't know yet until it drops in. So my ancestors on my mom's side are from Saskatchewan, Canada. Okay, Saskatchewan, like that whole freaking puzzle of a word I can't even spell, comes up on my left, early this morning, Easter, as in the rising, okay? Comes up on my left, this license plate from Saskatchewan. I'm like, wait, what? And the left is the past, as in, oh, your ancestors, oh, and the license plate adds up, it's 499 KVS, adds up to a master number 11. You have balanced it, Amy. All is well. It's all good. Like, okay. Play. That's all I needed to do, okay, so the mind still does its thing. Even now I'm hearing myself say that. I'm like, yeah, I know, but, and the heart's like swelling, like, no, it's good. It feels good. And the child's like, kind of like you with couples, like, it's all going to be good. It's all going to be good. Just keep waiting. Just keep waiting. Just keep waiting. Just keep waiting. Wait. Oh, they're getting closer. Oh my God, they're holding hands now. Oh, okay, they're finally hugging. Okay. It's that, like, play comes out of, out of source, like, just out of nowhere. Like the sprinklers go on, my hose goes on, and the dogs go running. They chase the hose, Benjamin and his twin. They're obsessed with the hose. Every time I garden or do something, here they come running, and I'm like, God dang it. But here it is. It's initiated play. Amy, just play with the hose with them. Like, what else do you have to do that's that important ever? So it's leaning in, really. And that's like surrendering to it, because it feels, as you said, fun is fun. It feels better to have fun. It's boring to be so serious. Like, Jesus, people walk out of the room when I'm so serious and they feel overwhelmed by me. Like, I understand why. It's a lot of information, it's a lot of energy, and it wasn't fun. But when we do what we're doing, no one wants to leave the table. They're there for hours, just like I was with myself yesterday for 6 hours. Like no one leaves. It's like, that's it. That's how you know something's coming through really good, is everyone left feeling really good and like exhausted from play. Yeah. I mean, this is play for me. Lit. It's so fun. And the mind, ahead of time was like, oof, it's Sunday, I'm tired. And oh my God, she's an hour early. Oh my God, wait, what? Oh my God, is this the excuse? Oh my God, do I need it? Okay. No, Amy, get the wig, get the glasses. Time for play. Time for the playground. She's got a cat. You're allergic to cats, Amy, and she's wearing cats. Of course she's wearing cats. We're here to talk to you. Seriously, they're coming in strong.
Oh, it's so good. This is so good. I feel like play, like the results of play are pretty quantum.
Yes.
Like, and the reality of play is pretty quantum, because it's like there are a lot, it requires surrender. It requires the universe moving through you and doing a lot of the heavy lifting. And it also just like affirms that we are these children of God. Like we're not here to do and prove our merit. We're like, that will come, like development of skills will come. I think about this a lot because my grandma and I were playing tennis, and it had been a long time for her. She loves tennis. And we were definitely coming at it from two different angles. I was coming at it from like, oh my God, it's so much fun to be out here. I'm hitting balls. This is amazing. I can't even, like, and then she would like make comments sometimes about, about my serve or whatever. Cause like we did like a bunch of serves. She's a very sweet, beautiful woman. And she, and whenever I would miss one, she'd be like, oh, it's okay. Like, don't worry about that. And I'm like, oh, I'm not worried about that. It's like, I'm definitely not worried about that. But like, it came over me. I'm like, we do this thing. And it's so silly because like, I could feel like the divine intelligence within me that is me. And I was like, through fun and through play and through just being present, like I will learn these like little like micro adjustments of like, ooh, like when I do this, like this happens. And when I do that, that happens. And like the skill will develop naturally because I am divine intelligence. Like I'm gonna figure it out. Like I don't have to be so serious about like, oh, what's the form? And like it almost like there's like literally contraction through that. So like spirit's essence can't move as readily, and that intelligence can't move as readily through our body. It's like when we're playing, we're open and we're having this like divine dialogue with life, with the energies of life. And there's so much intelligence and wisdom that is shared naturally through that process that we don't have to force. I think a lot of times, two things. Like I think a lot of times we want to have it be effortful so that we feel like we've done something, like when your mind is like, oh, did we do enough? Like that sure felt really good. We don't have a lot of effort or work to show for that. We certainly didn't struggle at all. That can't be good. And then, so I think there's like that we like want the struggle so that we like have something to like show to God.
Oof.
Be like, ooh, look at this. I struggled so good for you, God. Like, aren't you proud of me? And then God's like, what?
Yeah.
You created that. You like created that whole hamster wheel for yourself. You created the obstacle, you created the challenge. Like, I'm like kind of impressed with your imagination skills, but like that wasn't my objective for you. So not even the most intelligent way of getting the job done, but I love you anyway. Son or daughter or whoever you are, and it's just so funny. Like we do that. And then I think the other thing is that we don't know how. We don't know that we're safe enough. Like that is an applicable model, because play and success through play and how much of a benefit there is to play hasn't really been modeled in our world. So we don't know that that is what happens when we do that. And because our systems have been based off of survival for such a long time and like fight or flight, that it becomes like really scary to be like, we feel like our survival is on the line. And if we're scared of dying, if we're scared of not having success, like that leap of faith that it would take to try and do something in a way that's so radically different from what we know. I mean, we won't have to struggle. We won't have, like, what will I show? How will I earn my keep? And it's like, no, you don't get it. Like, you're enough. It's like, whoa, you're asking a lot for me, because everything that I've known about how I keep myself safe is by proving my worth. You're saying I don't have to prove my worth and that I'll be safe. Like, that's a big leap. That's a big leap. Biologically.
So the image that keeps coming is two kids in a sandbox. Okay. You're having fun. Kids are having fun. Like, when does it turn? And when does it turn? Okay. There's something like super profound and simple in this moment that it turns. And when it turns, I'm literally extrapolating at the moment, because I can see at a certain age, it's a parent that says, be careful, don't swallow the sand, be careful. There's this a voice from that they've learned. So it's just generations and generations and generations of fear. Okay, so then fear talks, and then of course fear informs, because that's what we're focusing on. And so we're not focusing on, oh my God, you're having such a great time, keep it up, oh, so good for you, look at you, look how you play with the sand, look at, doesn't it feel great? We're not doing that. We're saying, be careful, oh, don't get sand in your eye, and even at the beach, like, oh, you're going to get sand in your underwear. Oh, we're going to have to clean it out later. And
clean it out later.
Right. But this is what, so all of a sudden the mind, right? Our mind, brilliant, intelligent program. The program is to survive. So all of a sudden I hear, as a 5-year-old, 4-year-old, 3-year-old, I don't know. Uh-oh. And what I hear are not the words, I hear the vibration. I hear an alert, because I'm primal. At that age, I'm being conditioned through theta brainwave until about 7 or 8 years old. So I'm hearing, wait, I hear a tone. That tone isn't the heart tone. That's not the conscious, the Christ consciousness. That's not, I don't recognize that tone. Uh-oh. And the mind comes on, and I can feel it in my heart too, as I'm saying it, like, uh-oh. And that's what we teach kids. Uh-oh, what? And my dogs are looking at me as I'm saying that, like, they know this. The tone has changed. Is there something wrong? Are we in danger? And so the mind hears the tone, and the mind starts to create by looking for what it is that they need to survive from. Now, all of a sudden, the two kids are fighting and throwing sand at each other, and now they're being ripped apart from play. And I'm like, right now I'm hearing it. I'm going, OMG. Like, literally, God has stepped out, because, like, cool, divinity is like, great, this is a new experiment, go for it, guys. And the brain is brilliant, and it's like not going to be, the brain isn't going to be rejected, or the mind isn't going to be rejected or abandoned either. It's got its job, and the job is to create these experiences. And that's why thoughts create your reality. It's brilliant. It's just, how do you choose? It's the free will choice. Well, in that moment, we did co-create it as a 3 or 4-year-old to learn about the fear of, I don't know, competition. Like, he's going to throw the ball at me and it's going to hit me. So I'm going to throw the ball first because I have to survive this. I mean, it's, animals do it instinctively in the moment. They don't anticipate it. For me, that's the difference. We anticipate it because that's how our brain works.
Right.
And then by anticipating it, we're no longer in the moment, and we now create the moment. Whereas animals actually come into the moment and react and respond in the moment. We are almost pre-reacting and then going, oh my God, can you believe this happened? Yeah, you actually created it and anticipated it. That's why it happened. That's the brilliance of our subconscious, like the programming. It'll do whatever you want it to do. It's our servant. It's like a dog. It's beautiful. But why aren't we telling it to do it with love and all this other stuff? So yeah, play becomes distorted pretty quickly. And the funny thing is, we came from play, creative, sacral, sexual play. We literally came from play, maybe not all, maybe some came from traumatic. But that moment in time, there's still, despite the circumstances, there's still some kind of chemical biological dance of chemicals playing in the body. I mean, they get turned on for play. The circumstances don't matter to the cells that are here to create life. So yeah. It's, oh my God, it's insane. It's what a concept. This drop-in is so good. That play is expansive. It literally is expansive. If you aren't playing, you are literally shutting out your superpowers that are trying to come through. I mean, what a fucking concept, truly. I literally can feel, like, I can look at the word and I can feel this, like, oh my God, like you're in this bubble of expansion. Oh my God, do you feel it? Does everybody feel it? So good, so good, so good. And then someone throws a rock and you're like, okay, it's over. Like, it's like bubble burst, but yeah, yes.
But it's always there. It's always there. Yeah. So cool. So cool. And I really feel like the play platform really just affirms the natural order of life, which is that we are loved and we are innately loved. And like, it's just like, what a benevolent thing that we would be able to experience the productivity or creation and life, but from a vantage point of like, this all gets to be enjoyed. And not only is that possible, not only is that available, that it is actually preferred by the mind, by our biology, by our spirit, that are like all of these are designed and function most optimally when we're in this state of fun. Like, what could be more loving than that? What could be more innately loving than the fact that our biology, our psychology, our spirit literally has designed us to enjoy ourselves?
There's a guy, I don't know his name, but it came to my awareness during our shutdown. He had I believe a YouTube channel or Instagram story. He was this concept he took to the live platform, and he said, I am doing everything for joy. Watch the money flow in. And when I tell you that the story is, it's one thousands after another, because he was enjoying and he gave everything away. It was collecting, similar to this concept of opening people up to their light, consciousness in their light body, and donating everything to what lights me up. So the Wolf Sanctuary or Entheon, but his was on a bigger platform. And it was, not only did he get all the money that he get, whatever he needed for the donations and charity and whatever, he was taken care of everywhere he went. He never had to spend a dime. It was like, oh, you need this. And Matthias is another guy on Gaia, a young guy, same thing. If you're living your joy and you are living your passion, your play, your fun, everything is taken care of. It's the greatest experiment for the mind construct, right? What would happen? I mean, what do you have to lose? We were given the opportunity for 2 years during shutdown. Play, because you can't work right now. So guess what you're left with? Like a crazy dismantling of mental constructs and programming. And then all of a sudden people were out in nature and oh my God, we haven't done this in forever, and having projectors and outside having movies under the stars and play, fun. And guess what? People were supported by systems that were in place. Whether it was the job saying we've got this in place, or unemployment, or that, people were supported. And now I think you've touched upon something, and that's what I hear, is putting all these pieces together and saying, what do you have to lose? Seriously, what do you have to lose? What is so serious that you can't experiment with this? And yes, I know the money topic comes in, and that's where the greatest leap of faith comes in. Do you believe the divine equation? Love equals time equals money. So we already have it on the planet. Time is money. 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 Okay, well, what is money? Money is currency. Money is currency, current, energy. Okay, so time is energy. Got it. Understand that. We're gifted 24 hours a day, no matter who you are. If you're on this planet, you get 24. That's it. Can't gift it, can't steal it. We're equal. We're equal. We're equal. Time is equal, right? Which means if time is equal by every single individual, time doesn't exist either, right? So time is energy, and energy we can't see, we could just feel. So now we know that time and energy are equal, and you can only feel it. So what does that mean? How do you feel time? When you're playing, right? Where time doesn't exist. That's how you can actually embody time. When you say, oh my God, like, it's like we were out of time, meaning out of the body of time. We were just enjoying ourselves. There's a phrase about this. When you're, something about time doesn't exist when you're having a good time, like when you're playing. So you are literally, you're putting a beautiful new concept, word play. This is play as the child, obviously it comes from that. And it's innocence. It's in no sense. There's no sense of time. They just be, they just exude divinity. And so now, if time and money are equal, and time is energy, and all of it is timeless, what is timeless? What do we say is timeless? Love. Love is the container. Love is timeless. Love is eternal. Really? Okay. Well, that means that love contains time and money, and time and money don't exist. They're energy. So it swims all constructs. The circumference of the circle disappears, and now it's just love. So don't we want to experiment with, if that's true, then wouldn't I make more money if I had fun, if I just played, if I really loved, embodied love everywhere I went? Not just am love, be love. No, like be in love with what you're doing. I say yes. I mean, I know it. I know it. It's a fact. I know it. And I'm here proving it. People don't understand. I don't even understand how I'm supported. I just know that I am. And I'm extremely generous. And I'm here. I'm just enjoying my life. I mean, yeah. Do you want to get on a call at 6 o'clock? Yeah. At Sunday? Yeah, I do. Because we're going to play. And all of a sudden I'm like, I'm going to wear my wig, and let's wear these glasses, and yeah, let's do it. Like, this is it. And some way say, well, yeah, but it's just a YouTube channel. And, what are you going to do? Where is it going to go anywhere? Yeah, it's going to go somewhere. Don't know where, don't need to know. It's, Course in Miracles is, where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say, and to whom? It's not my business. Just show me where to show up, and I will, and embody, to the best, to the most fun. The rest, I don't know. We surrender. You become, the kid, and you just, when kids are done with things, they literally just leave their shit and they move on to the next thing. They don't care what happened, here. Like, I just flung it. Adults, and wives. Like, I was that wife. Pick up your shit. No, because the inspiration left. The light left them. Literally, this was lit up. Such a good book. Boop. Inspiration done, dropped it. Oh my God, look at this, look at it. Boop. And the adults are oh wait, I don't see the fun. Could you pick this up? Could you pick this up? I'm always picking up your stuff. Yeah, because spirit just moves from thing to thing. Didn't you see it? It's lit up, Megan. Look at it. That, follow what catches your eye. And it's all this. When I started that experiment, there were 2 trash cans in the middle of a storm. Literally those, huge trash barrels in the middle of a storm in tiny little Rowayton. And I had already had to set this intention. Like, I'm playing this game for 7 days. What catches my eye, I'll follow it no matter what it is. And the first experiment was these 2 trash cans, and everyone was driving by. Everyone was literally doing this, like, around. And I'm like, I see all these cars, and I'm like, wait, are they serious? Do they seriously not see the garbage pails? Like, wait, I don't, and I'm like, then I start to hear, oh, no one else saw it. They lit up for you. Like, truly, they don't see it. It's lit up for you because you said you were going to play the game. So what did I do? Stopped traffic, moved the things over, and went about my way. And the mind goes, what the fuck was that for? I don't know. I don't know, because the kid was like, I don't know, but I'm playing this game. So just stay with me, and who knows how it's going to line up. I don't know. I don't know. I still don't know. I follow it. And when I teach people this to play, exactly as you're in your way of saying play, everything changes. You're going the same way to work, same da-da-da. And all of a sudden something catches your eye to the left, and everything in you is going, go to the left. But the mind, well, no, but work's over here, and 5 minutes late, and you got to get your coffee, but you went left and you met your soulmate at the gas station that somehow caught your eye, and you have no idea why you're there, and now you don't mind being late because nothing matters anymore. Love, you met up with love at the gas station. So, man, it's gonna hit like wildfire.
This is such good stuff.
Yeah. All the dolphins are gonna start like jumping out of the ocean because the pods are beginning to play on the planet. That's what we need to do, is create. That's what my friend and I were starting to do, is create play pods of dolphins, but in human form, but in kids. Again, not for adults, because why do adults want to play? But this is what we're talking about. All ages, all sizes, all, everyone welcome. What do you want to play? Get in groups and play. I think that was the concept of meetup. It was beautiful. There's a lot of people who feel this initiative in different pockets. Like, let's meet up and do this. Let's meet up and do this. Like, beautiful. And so there are people out there. And I think the message really is, you don't have to worry about the thing that everyone worries about, which is time and money, because they're equal and love contains them, which means if you're in love, then nothing will matter and you will have everything you need. Yeah.
Well, I know what I'm going to play with this week.
You mean play?
Yes. Yes.
What lights you up? Yes. Let's do it.
That's the objective.
What catches your senses, follow it, no matter what it is, and have a line 3 experience for 7 days and see what happens. I am so excited to see. It's what I do. I always leave room in the day for all of it. Oh, someone called. Oh, I wasn't expecting this call. Yep, this is your cross talking. Answer the call. Oh, that was fun. Yeah. Cool.
I'm so excited. Thank you. Thank you for talking to me on a wide array of subjects and subject matters. This has been such a good conversation. And I hope to do this again. This was really fun. And thank you. Thank you for being willing to share your with me, and whoever is blessed to witness this. I don't know, to be a part of this. I don't know who this was co-created with and for.
Oh my God,
if it was just us, but I definitely nourished by this conversation. So
our lives are changed, and so are everyone else's, whether they hear it, see it, feel it, smell it, watch it.
So true. It's so true.
Two beings have just had a blast, have blasted off on a rocket ship in quantum playground, and who cares what happens next? We had fun. That's literally all that actually matters. Yeah. Thank you. So fun. So fun. Can't wait to do the next one. Don't even plan it. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
Ring, ring, sandbox.